Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Today, we have Rikki joining us to talk about her trip to Walt Disney World last weekend. We talk about her thoughts on visiting Beacon Barrel, which is super interesting because we talk about dining with the small snack of Octopus Tentacles. Yes, she did have that. She also had a non-alcoholic beverage while Brian had a nice drink while there. We talk about atmosphere and all the experiences you will have there in Adventureland. We also talk about her dinner at Yachtsman Steakhouse, spending some time over at Epcot during Food and Wine. Lots of fun there. And we get a preview of Hollywood Horror Nights over at Universal. I know I'm not a fan, but she loves that place. So we talk about that at the end of the show as well. Don't forget, our show's always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Just click through anytime you shop online, and you're supporting the show at the same time. Thanks so much for that. And you can support the show on Patreon. Thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. You're our all-stars. It's patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can support us just $5 a month. And when you do that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2774 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a great week and kicking off the weekend with us here on the show. Again, we're down a couple today. Pam, still no internet. Somebody must have cut the fiber in her neighborhood. Who knows what's going on with that? Scotty G finishing up working with that emergency, but he's going to be in Lincoln, Nebraska this weekend. So if you're watching the Michigan State Nebraska game up at in Lincoln, Nebraska, check for the one guy in green in the sea of red out of the 100,000 folks. Those Cornhusker fans are serious. So if you see the green dot, probably your buddy Scotty G. I'll be looking for him on the broadcast. So that's where he's going to be up with our good friend Wade. So it's going to be a lot of fun for those guys. We are here, going to have a fun kind of mini trip report because Rikki was down at Walt Disney World, Central Florida last weekend. We're going to talk about everything happening down there. But Rikki, first, as we jump into today's show, homecoming week here, the bye week for Mizzou. We had homecoming at Mizzou last weekend. It's homecoming week for Howell. Exciting times here in my neck of the woods. We both went to the same high school, Hazelwood Central, back in the day. Any homecoming memories for you back in the day? You remember Spirit Week and all that good stuff, the big old pep assembly, stuff like that. What do you remember from homecoming back in the day? Home of the Hawks.
I remember because I was a thespian, so I remember my senior year, the parade, and I remember riding in the float for the homecoming parade. And I forget what the theme was, but I do remember, and this was before my Disney fandom really kicked in, but I do remember I was dressed up as Minnie Mouse, which is kind of funny. I don't remember the theme at all, but I do remember that. And I also remember the fact that I went to the only football game I ever went to.
Shut up. You only went to one football game? We always had a good football team. Like we won state.
No, I did not go to football games.
Oh my gosh.
I went to that. I went to the homecoming game my senior year, but didn't really care about it. So
you're killing me.
I don't think I even stayed very long.
Oh.
So yeah, I think I left. And then I went to homecoming dances, but I
probably DJ'd it because I DJ'd a lot of the dances after I graduated.
Possible. Who knows? I don't know. I think I would have recognized you though. So not. I don't think you were there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like the big memory I have is I remember riding in the float, and then I went to the only football game I ever went to for like a few minutes.
Man, the homecoming was fun back then because you always had the spirit days like leading up to homecoming every day, like today, because it was recording like At Howell today was pajama day because Mallory comes walking in like at 11 o'clock. She does like a half day where she works the other half of the day, and she didn't have to work today. So she comes in like right as I'm coming up for lunch, like just pajamas. I'm like, I forgot it was Spirit Week. I'm like, what's going on? Like you got on these big bear claw slippers and PJs. I'm like, where'd you just come from? School?
That's all right.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's homecoming. Yeah, right. So, they're doing the Camp Rock is their theme tomorrow. So
Interesting.
It's surfers versus skaters.
Well, they're doing Camp Rock 3 now.
That's what I heard.
Let's go.
Everything old is new again. So that's the Disney tie there. But yeah, I actually drove in the homecoming parade myself back in the day because it was on Halloween day one of the years, and I had my car in high school was a 71 MGB.
Right.
And, you got to look that up. Most people don't know what an MGB is, but it was kind of like a Miata.
I
it was
actually
like
do.
Yeah, it was like a little bitty thing. It was a coupe. I mean, it was
my
tiny.
dad had one.
Oh, did it? Yeah, my grandpa had like 8. He loved these things because they were cheap back in the day.
Yeah.
Little British car. Kind of looks like the Austin Powers car.
Yeah, I think it caught on fire.
Yeah, they were not safe.
No.
They were little cheap cars.
I think my dad's caught on fire.
Yeah, probably.
Sure.
The batteries, there was 2 batteries, and they sat right behind the driver and the passenger. It was such a pain when they died because you had to jump them from behind the driver. But anyway, so it was bright orange. It was great. I love this car. It was the worst car. I mean, like I would never give a 16-year-old a MG because it sat like when I drove on the interstate, like I could have gone under tractor trailers easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I had the thing over 100 miles an hour one time on Interstate 44 because I was late to work. I pitched a game down at Melville High School, and the game went extra innings, but I had to get to the skating rink by like 6:30 or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be late. Whoa, I was flying. And the thing was only 4-cylinder. I can't believe I got to 100 miles an hour. This one, I got like to 90, and I was like, well, let's see if I can get to 100. You're an idiot when you're a kid. Anyway, it's a wonder I'm still here. But back to that. I drove it in the homecoming parade because my girlfriend at the time was a Hawkette, and she was like on the court or whatever, the homecoming court. And so she was a candidate or whatever. So she's, we made it look like a pumpkin or something. We put like black construction paper on to make it look like a jack-o'-lantern with like eyes and teeth and stuff. It was really cute. But the whole time, the problem with that was those cars were not meant to idle and go slow like that. The thing was overheating the whole time. So I had to keep like, and had this like, you had to do this throttle thing on because it was an old car. Like you had to like do this manual choke thing. It was the whole time like this thing's going to blow up. See the whole thing? Like I was like, this thing's going to overheat. Because did you do the parade over by Barrington Elementary? Is that where you were? Like kind of back in like over kind of that area?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
but those were good times. I mean, then you did because we had the soccer game, then we'd have a football game, then we'd have the dance. And it was a good day. Yeah. I loved homecoming's great. I love it. We don't have a parade here at Howell because we don't have like a good place to have it. Because we live like right on a highway. The Howell Central has one because they have Cottleville. Like they have, Cottleville. Like we don't get that because that's not our area. So we don't get a parade, but we do have a dance, and we're hopefully going to beat Troy tomorrow night. It's going to be a tough thing, but we went to our rivals' homecoming and beat them at their homecoming last Friday, so that was a lot of fun. We spoiled their homecoming. That's spoiling somebody else's homecoming is almost as good as winning yours, I guess.
I guess so.
It was. It was fun. Anyway, let's talk Disney. So, tell us about your homecoming too over in the clubhouse. I love homecoming stories. All right, so Rikki, you were just down there. So, what was happening down at Walt Disney World this past weekend?
I was. So, we had the goal of doing a few things originally before we set out on this trip. And the first was I lucked into a reservation for Beacon Barrel.
Beacon Barrel. Is it just we're calling it B&B or are we not?
No,
not yet.
We're not.
We should.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. So I lucked into that. And I had to go pick up my annual pass holder magnet. So that was at step 2 of everything that I needed to do. And then we wanted to get in a little bit of food and wine. So we that was step 3 of everything that I needed to do. And then the last step of everything I needed to do is we wanted to go to Halloween Horror Nights over at Universal. So those are like the 4 things that we had kind of on our list of what we were going to do on this vacation. It was a really short one, only obviously 2 nights. And, we left Lucy with Grandma and Grandpa, and we got to go have some fun, just the 2 of us. So that was kind of, the nice thing is she gets to go hang out with Grandma and Grandpa, see them for a little bit, and we get a couple days without having a child with us, which I know sounds really weird going to Walt Disney World and going without a child. But that's how we roll. So some days we take her, and other trips that they don't work out where we can take her because we're doing something like staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning at Halloween Horror Nights. So we're like, and also going to Halloween Horror Nights. So we were like, that's not happening. So she can stay with grandma and grandpa. So, but she had a great time with them. So, I mean, let's be honest. Actually, it was really funny because my mom and dad have a golf cart, and she loves the golf cart. Oh my goodness, absolutely adores it. And so Brian and I were getting ready to leave, and you know how when you get ready to leave, you expect that there are going to be some tears from your daughter because she doesn't want you to go, right? Yeah, no, not in this case. She was like sitting in the golf cart waiting for my mom to take her on a ride, and she pointed to Brian and she said, "You go to your car." And we were like, okay.
But see, now
bye.
you guys should be crying if your kid's doing that. Like your kid's telling you to leave. That's
No, we were like, okay, peace out. See you later. Love you, Lucy. Have a good
see,
one. Grandma, grandpa.
as a dad, that would mess me up. I'm just saying. Like,
No, he was good.
Yeah, okay.
It was all good.
All right, that's okay. That's
It was really funny. She's like, you go in your car. And she was like, all right, I guess we're good. She's not upset.
I have a senior girl who's doing everything for the last time, dude. I'm holding on by a thread at this point. So
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's going way too fast. But okay, so let's talk about let's first of all, let's go Beacon Barrel.
Okay, let's go Beacon
For
Barrel.
2 people, because you guys don't drink, right?
I don't. Brian does. So
Yeah, because I think Brian was drinking in the Pirates of the Caribbean queue. I hear from
No, he
Wednesday.
was not drinking in the Pirates
with Fancy
Caribbean
Nancy
queue,
or
but,
somebody.
Yeah, so I did look into a reservation. It was like right. I didn't get it right when they first opened. I remember because obviously you remember like it opened. They were supposed to open it and then it crashed. So then they opened it at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. A couple days later, and Brian and I were in Missouri, and I just didn't get a reservation because we were with my in-laws. So I heard that they had released additional reservations a couple of weeks later. So I just got on the app and was like, all right, let's just see if there's anything available, whatever, And boom, there was a reservation for 11:50 on the Friday that we were going to be there. And I said, I was not planning on going to the Magic Kingdom that day. But I said, okay, so booked it. And I'm telling you, like, I was trying to see if I could change it to, make it a little bit later in the day so that I didn't have to leave my mom and dad so early because we drove down from the Villages, which is like an hour and a half, depending on traffic, hour and 15, hour and a half. So I was like, okay, I got to make sure that I was trying to book it so that it would go a little bit later so that I didn't have to leave so early in the morning, but we managed. So got the reservation, got to the Magic
I'll say a
Kingdom.
prayer for you. I get up at 4:45 every morning.
I know.
You're good. You're good.
But remember, I had my daughter that I was leaving.
I know.
Yeah. So we got up early. I'm not saying we didn't get up early.
I'm just playing with you. This is what I do. This is my thing. This is what I do to my daughters and my wife every day.
I'm just specifying.
This is what it's like to live with me. Just go ahead.
Yeah. And so anyway, got to the Magic Kingdom, got checked in at Beacon Barrel, and it's basically you walk in. And it's very, very themed. Obviously, it's incredibly well done, themed after Pirates of the Caribbean. There are two rooms that you can experience. They are connected, so that part's nice. And the one room is the main room that has the bar. There is a little alcove off to the side and off the main room, which is kind of interesting. It looks like a map room. That was really kind of cool to kind of like explore a little bit. It's very small, but really neat. The main room at the bar has, of course, the parrot up at the top. Unfortunately for us, though, he was not feeling well on the day that we were there. So while we might have heard him, we did not get to actually see him. So I was very sad I did not get to see the parrot.
Dang, that's crazy already. He's already taking some time off. That's not good.
I know. I was very sad about that. But yeah, and then the main room is, like I said, themed out. It's got the bar. It's kind of pirate shippy looking. And then the other room is kind of interesting. There's like a fireplace in there, and it kind of feels like a den kind of situation. There's some really cool bottles, ships in a bottle that are on top of the fireplace. There are Easter eggs literally everywhere in this bar. I mean, seriously, every nook and cranny has something pirate ship themed. There are a couple of different shows that happen during your experience. You only have 45 minutes to do Beacon Barrel, and I'm telling you, like, it is a hard 45 minutes. They will kick you out.
So how do they police that?
So our so we actually there. The other thing is there are mostly in the spot there are communal tables. However, on the second room, I think there were more like separate tables. So I think, they'll have a server come to at probably those tables, but the communal tables, they do have servers come to as well. So like once they know what time you come in, I think actually our ticket had the time that we came in at, and they police it from there. But we actually ended up standing at the bar. So it was standing room only there, and we did not have a seat. So we ended up hanging out at the actual bar, which was really kind of cool because we got to experience, I feel like we got to honestly the best experience, because I was right there where, the parrot would have been coming out. I got to, interact with the bartenders, the servers. So that was really fun because they do different shows inside the Beacon Barrel, and so like it was fun kind of interacting with them while the shows were taking place. You got to talk with your fellow, shipmates or whatever you want to call it. So I met a few lovely people in the bar while we were standing. I met Nancy, who we talked about on the last podcast. It was lovely to meet her. Met a couple of other people as well, but it was just a nice camaraderie that happened kind of while you were standing at the bar. And I feel like it happens, maybe a little less so at some of the tables, at the communal tables, but it was still a really cool experience to have that. They do have, and oh yeah, Nancy was so gracious. She got they have a like a pirate head drink. Like it's a skull, you can drink out of a skull, and we didn't get the skull drink, but she did, and so we were talking to her, and so she asked, would you like to take a drink of this? So Brian tried the skull drink. He said it was good. So
By the way, that's fancy Nancy to you.
Fancy
apparently
Nancy.
they say over on Instagram. And by the way, Natalie just joined us over on Instagram. We answered your question, but you're late, so you'll catch that on the replay.
Yeah.
So the thing I want to have a kind of a large discussion on this at some point, maybe with Pam and Scott too when they join us. But I mean, I think they've learned a lot from the lounges on the cruise ships, like the Haunted Man. So they brought the Star Wars lounge to the Wish, which is nice, but they took it to a whole nother level with the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Treasure. And I think, then you have GO82, which is a whole nother level to the theme parks at Epcot. This is probably akin to that because I haven't been to Beacon Barrel yet. But I think they're taking these small, intimate, like Oga's Cantina is very much like on this level. It reminded
me of Oga's, for sure.
But I mean, I like, they're sneaking these places in, which I think, highly themed, intimate locations that the Uber Disney fans can enjoy. But I think they're also, I think these are very akin to what you see on the ships.
Yeah, I would get that. I totally get that vibe. Like it could have totally been on a ship, but it was actually in the theme park. Again, this is a restaurant or lounge, I guess I should say, that does serve alcohol. So you can get an alcoholic drink, but they were very specific. You cannot take this out, so you must drink it all here. And Brian actually got the drink Barrels Ablaze, which was Jack Daniel's bonded bourbon, honey, lemon, and chili. And then they do have a couple of
chili. That's interesting.
Like little chili. I think chili flakes. Huh. Yeah. So they do have a couple of non-alcoholic drinks. And this is what intrigued me because I don't get to go to a lot of places that are lounges like this that have non-alcoholic drinks that are not fruity, because I don't love fruity drinks. I'm not a huge different food. If it's a strawberry drink, maybe I would do it, like coconut flavored drink maybe, but when you start adding like lemon and lime and stuff like that, I'm totally out. And a lot of times those are the kind of things that they put in drinks that are non-alcoholic. However, here they had a drink that was 100% right up my alley, and my friends are going to laugh when they hear me talk about this because yes, it is a drink that has
Let me guess. I was going to say it was 2% milk, right?
It has boom. However, it is not 2%. It is actually made a drink with coconut milk. So I got the Cursed Treasure, which it has coconut milk and cookie crumbs topped with vanilla foam and then pirate gold, which is just a little cookie. It was really good though. I very much enjoyed it. I know it's probably for the kids who come into the lounge with their parents, but you know what? I don't even care. It was quite delicious. I enjoyed it. and I would 100% get this drink again. So it was nice to have something for me because I don't normally get to drink at these places. Like I'm like, I'll just have a water, you know. So like I'm usually like left out. So it was really great to be able to have a drink here. They do have a couple of small plates as well, and we tried a couple of them. So the one that we tried, well, we tried the Cook's corn griddle cakes with chipotle braised chicken. So these are warm corn cakes. They're stuffed with melted cheese, a lime sour cream, chili peppers, and cheese. This was actually really good. It's actually kind of decent sized. You could totally eat it by yourself. We split it, but it was really, really, really good. It had a lot of good flavor. They do have a vegetarian version as well, which is served with roasted corn and poblano peppers. I didn't get that because I don't, you know, I'm not a spicy food flavor person. So like that wouldn't have been up my jam. But the chipotle braised chicken was really good. It didn't have a super spicy flavor or palate or anything like that. Like there were a couple of peppers I think in there that like you could pick out because you could see them. They were like red. But it was really good. I very much enjoyed that. The other thing that we got was actually you're gonna be surprised. And honestly, this was my favorite thing. And I'm telling you, I was so surprised that I liked this as much. And I honestly, while I was eating it, didn't know what was in it, and I didn't care because it was that good. This was the Kraken's Catch. And what it was octopus tentacles marinated in lemon and lime juice with olives, bell peppers, avocado, and some sort of pepper almond foam. I have to tell you, this was so good. Brian and I were so surprised at how delicious this was. And again, I didn't know what I was eating because if I knew I was eating olives, I would have been like, no, thank you, because I don't like olives. But I definitely tasted olives when I was eating it. So yeah, it was good. And yes, I did eat octopus tentacles. So again, really, really good. And it was cool. It was because it was a hot day, so it was like a cold appetizer. It was phenomenal, so good. And they've said, because we were talking to the server about it, and has become one of the most popular things at the lounge because people try it and they're like, oh my gosh, that is so good. So yeah, I ate octopus. It was delightful.
So a couple questions about that. First of all, how expensive are octopus tentacles? Because that has to be, because they have to be kind of rare. There can't be a lot of octopus tentacles rolling around. You know,
this was a little pricey. Not gonna lie,
they have to be. I mean, it's just supply and demand. There's not a lot of them in the world, I would think. You know, I mean, it can't be a bajillion of them.
It was a smaller cup, and they were $18.
Well, yeah.
So
I would think they're rare.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not like Texas Roadhouse rolls. You know, they're hard to come by, and they're cool. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a cold dish. So yeah, it was
Pirates
so
eat
good.
octopus tentacles. Interesting.
Huh?
I said pirates eat octopus. I guess pirates do. I mean, you know, they're out there, they eat what they can. That's interesting.
They do.
So one question, because I want to ask one more thing about this. So Judy over on Facebook, who's joined us live here as we record, the skull drink is called the Plunderer's Punch.
Yes.
Were a lot of people rolling out with the souvenir mugs, that skull mug? I'd imagine if you're going to take all the effort to get into place, you're going to leave with the mug, right? Most people.
Absolutely. Both Nancy, the lady on the side of us,
fancy Nancy.
Yes, fancy Nancy, and then a gentleman who was also on the other side of us who we were talking to. Both of them got the Plunderer's Punch. And it's basically Kraken, black spice rum, blackberry, lime, and vanilla. That's what the drink is. So Brian said it was good. I did not try it because I don't drink any of those things. But yeah, it was. I really enjoyed our time at the Beacon Barrel. It's a really cool experience. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get into for a very long time, I feel like. But if you can look into a reservation, I would hands down say to try to get one. It was such a cool experience, even though we didn't get to see, you know, the parrot wandering around.
Did you see the ship, like the ship in the bottle?
The ship in the bottle, yeah.
That's what I want to see. That looks awesome. I
we
love
saw
ships
those.
in a bottle.
That was really cool. I will have a video up about my experience as well here soon. I'm working on editing that too. So, but yeah, it was a really great experience. And like I said before, we got to see Dr. Kai and his daughter Ella there as well, which was great too. So. It was a really great.
Did Dr. Kai have octopus tentacles?
I know we talked to him about it. I don't remember if he
How
did.
adventurous is Dr. Kai? We need to know.
I think he did.
Yeah, he probably did. He's a cool dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did.
I'm just messing with you, Dr. Kai. I don't
No,
care
I
what
can't
you-
remember. I remember a lot of our conversations.
I know,
I can't remember
I'm
who
not
he
calling
tried
you
that.
out. I don't care. You know what?
Yeah.
I probably have to have a plunderer's punch first before I need some rum in me before I go for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
lot.
it was great. It was great. It was
That's
so
a
good.
lot.
So,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Maybe you'd have to tell me it's a big French fry. Like, and then,
Yeah,
and then
I
maybe,
legit.
maybe I need to
I
not
knew.
know.
I knew.
Now that I
eating
know,
stuff-
it'd be a little bit tougher to put that thing down. Who knows?
I knew I was eating stuff that I would not have normally put in my mouth, like the olives when I was eating it. But I was like, you know what? It's dark in here. I can't see what I'm eating. This
That's
is not
true.
bad.
That's true. When it's dark and you're just like, oh, it looks like an onion ring. That's how a
exactly.
lot of
Let's
people
go
eat
with it.
calamari. Like, calamari just looks like onion rings. You don't know. It's
Yeah.
a little
I
tough.
love calamari too. So,
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just expensive onion rings, basically.
yeah, it's expensive calamari.
Like it's a little rubbery. What's going on here?
Yeah.
All right, so Beacon Barrel's a hit, so it's worth the
Beacon Barrel.
trouble. Okay, so
Yes,
it's kind of a
yes.
shame you got to go through all that, but it's going to be worth it. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great that it is. Like, oh man, like if it was disappointing, like, well, at least I don't have to do
No,
that.
it was
headache.
definitely not disappointing.
That's good
so
that it
was
is.
really
That's
good.
great. Okay, so tell us about food and wine. what did you guys like over food and wine, or how's that?
Okay, so here's the deal. A couple of other things. So I did do Tron. I want to stay at the Magic Kingdom for just a second.
Okay,
So we did do Tron. We got to see the new
How's the
updated
song?
version
Yeah.
with the red and the 9-inch nails for Tron Ares. It was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it a lot. They have a different storyline to go with the new film as well, and I really liked it. I thought it was a really good overlay. The 9-inch nails music, it's really like it wasn't noticeable, I guess I should
I mean,
say.
you
that
listen to it every day in your car. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally what
on
I'm
your
jamming out
commute.
to.
100%. I guarantee you and Brian rock out to that,
100%
yes.
not in sync. It's 9-inch nails. Yeah, that's my jam. But I thought the overlay was excellent. I really thought they did a fantastic job with it. So I would say if you're there and you can experience the overlay, I would 100% try to do so as well. And then after that, we actually took a bus, took a bus and went over to Animal Kingdom because
That's a lot of work for a magnet, dude. You're killing me with that magnet.
Okay,
thing. I
well,
could care less about that.
I know. But here's the deal. I legit have every single magnet that has ever come out from Disney. I have
Okay.
every single one. So, including all the circular ones. So, I mean, I have all of them. So, I'm now like, it's like that completionist thing now. Like, I would feel like I
But
was
see, if you
missing
miss,
something.
here's the deal: if you miss one, then all the pressure's off. It's like,
I know,
but I get
like-
it because like I'm with my Apple Watch circles. Like I didn't want to get because I have a terrible cold. I have a migraine. I didn't want to get on the treadmill today, but I have to film a circle because it's the
Exactly.
end of the
This
month.
is the-
I know, dude.
that
It's
is me
terrible.
with the
It's
magnets.
a sickness.
So
I know.
I went over to Animal Kingdom and got my magnet. But it was also really special to go over there that day because it was actually Baxo's birthday. So Baxo is the tiger. He's the
Wow.
baby tiger that was born, and he turned 1. And so I actually went over to go see him to celebrate his first birthday. So he was so cute. Oh my gosh. They gave him this basically ice block.
I should have given him
and
like a Jayhawk.
It was a cake.
Should have
His
given
ice
him
block.
a big blue bird.
Stop. So they gave him like this ice block cake, and by the time we got there, it was mostly melted, but there was still like some left. So he got up. I got to see him like go over there and eat some of his cake, and he was playing with the ball. It was really, I saw him not long after he debuted at Animal Kingdom, so it was really kind of cute to see him like now on his first birthday. So that was really special. So yes, I went over for the magnet, but I did want to see Baxo and his first birthday. So I do have a video up about that though, because I've already edited that one up. So that one's on a Disney World After All's YouTube channel. So you can go check that out. But he's so cute though. And oh my gosh, everybody was crowding around that the tiger, Maharaja jungle track. So I mean he was the star of the show, I'm not gonna lie. He was so popular that day.
And everybody was chanting. It was
They were
awesome.
not.
They were. I mean, the true fans of Basco or whatever his name is.
Baxo.
Baxo.
Baxo, something like
A
that.
good name would have been Truman, but go ahead.
That's all right. Yeah. So, anyway, at that point, Brian and I were hungry. because it had been a while since we'd eaten our octopus and chicken
I
corn
mean, it
cake.
can't be. Yeah, it's probably like caviar. It's probably a small serving. I'm sure.
Yeah, that the chicken corn cake was bigger than the octopus for sure.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. I've only seen really Octopus and Scooby Doo, so I don't know how big they really
Yeah,
are
no, it's
in
definitely
real life. So yeah, true. I don't know.
So we were getting hungry, and so we were sitting there. Actually, when we were waiting for the bus for Animal Kingdom, Brian and I were on the app because we don't make reservations before we get to the park now anymore for dining. So we were looking at the app, and we were like, "What's available?" And we actually saw that there was a reservation for Yachtsman Steakhouse, and so
High
we ended up
rollers.
taking
Look at you guys doing some signature on it the last minute. Holy cow. I thought you were going to say Yak and Yeti at Animal Kingdom. I'm like, that's a good place to go. But you
No.
no, heck no. Yak
We
and
went
going,
for it,
going
man.
big.
We went big.
Drop your kid off and there's like, hey, man, they're gonna ride around the golf cart to the villages, man. We're going to the Yachtsman.
It kind of was, yeah. We're like, cool, we get a date night out of this.
Holy
So
smokes.
yeah, we totally went to
Beacon
Yachtsman,
Barrel and
last
Yachtsman.
minute reservation. And oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so
bet.
nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you've
it
already
was-
had. I mean, think about you guys. You guys are rolling. You're eating octopus tentacles and Yachtsman in one day. What are you guys like the Beverly
I know,
Hillbillies?
right? Well, we did not have steak. Brian and the thing that sold both Brian and I on going to Yachtsman that night was we looked at the menu and they had sea bass on the menu, which we had sea bass on the Disney cruise at Enchanted Garden, and our server told us you can't miss the sea bass. So we tried it, and oh my gosh, the sea bass on the cruise was the best thing we had. So when we saw that there was sea bass on the menu at Yachtsman, we were like, done and done. So we went and we got an we got an appetizer. We did the whole Steve and Pam Forrester thing where we split our meal, not to be cheap, but because we knew that we were going to eat a lot. So we got an appetizer of the lobster bisque soup, which
You
oh
guys
my
consumed a lot of food that came out of the ocean in this day. A
I
lot of
really
fancy food.
liked
You at this point are like 22% like crustacean.
Fish.
Exactly.
Totally fish. So we got the lobster bisque soup. It was so good. So often I find the lobster bisque soup is really heavy on sherry, which I don't love. I don't love a sherry filled lobster bisque, but this was really good. Really, really creamy, delicious. Oh my goodness. Brian could not stop talking about the rolls that they give you.
No, man, rolls are good anywhere. Like, I don't care.
Yes, but these were like
Yachtsman,
onion
Texas
pole part
Roadhouse.
rolls, and
Yeah.
he was so in love with these rolls. I tried the sourdough roll with they give you like hunks of garlic that you can like smear in. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I could eat like the garlic bread just with, yeah, it was so good. And then we got the sea bass, which again was quite delightful. Oh, it was seared to perfection. So good, so light, so flaky. It came with a rice pilaf type thing with.
Did you picture him
andouille.
before he was sitting on your plate playing the bass?
No, we're good. Yeah.
He should have.
It came with like a rice with like an andouille sausage, I believe, and there was some little shrimp in there as well. So it was seafooded up for sure. And then we also got a side of truffle mac and cheese, which was just phenomenal. Oh my
Stop,
goodness.
because it's dinner time, man. You're killing me.
I know.
stop.
It was so delicious. I don't like mushrooms normally, but I'm a huge truffle fan. So anytime I see something like a truffle mac and cheese, I get it, and it's incredible. It was so creamy, so delightful. And then for dessert, we got the creme brulee, and it was really cool because they did like what they do with like fancy old fashions and stuff like that. They had put a lid on it and it had smoke, and it was like a smoky creme brulee, and they lifted the lid and the smoke came up. It added such a great flavor to the profile of the creme brulee. I was in heaven. I left there.
I didn't know you guys were. See, Fancy Nancy should have been with you because you guys are like fancying it up. You guys are rolling. I can't believe you guys. Holy
It
smokes!
was so good. Well, ironically, the last time we ate there was with Pam and Steven for I think it was Pam's birthday that year. And I remember Brian kind of
I can't believe you're getting a dessert that they're serving like in a thing like an old I mean, you guys are fancy. Like this is something Scotty G would do. He'd just jump into the chat over on
Oh, I
Facebook.
felt like Scott.
Dude,
for
this would be
sure.
something Scott would do 100%. Like, oh, I can't just have like a brownie sundae, dude. I'm rolling out with this. This
No.
dessert's gonna come like flambe. It's gonna be. It's gonna have a dome on it. It's gonna have smoke. It's gonna be a dessert and a show. And I've had octopus tentacles like 10 hours
Yes.
ago over at the Magic Kingdom.
I
You've
can
had
tell
a day.
you, it will not be so long before we go back to Yachtsman again because it was so good. We will definitely be doing that's now on our list because now I know I can convince Mr. Fiscally Responsible to go there because they have sea bass on the menu. So we're good now. We can go.
Crazy.
But the good thing about going there was A, we left so full. So B, we went over to Epcot Food and Wine. And when I tell you it was packed, I mean, it was packed. It was like 30-minute lines for every single food booth. So by the time we got there, I was so happy that I was full. We just literally walked around World Showcase and just kind of took in the atmosphere because it was just nuts. I'm telling you.
Was this
bonkers,
Friday
cuckoo
night?
nuts.
Friday night, right?
It was Friday night. Yeah. So it was just cuckoo nuts. But we had a good time. We kind of just, again, we had like 2 hours left and we just soaked up the atmosphere and stuff like that. So that was kind of nice. I will say that first aid at Epcot is great. Brian had to go to first aid because he had twisted his foot like a couple weeks ago and it was bothering him. So he went to first aid and they gave him some ice and stuff like that. So they were great with him. But because he went to first aid, I got to catch Luminous, which was which was great.
You just left him behind. Like I'll catch you later.
Yeah, he left
Have
me.
another roll.
Well, see, what happened was I went to order. I had mobile ordered the Pluto Halloween sipper, and so he's like, "I'm gonna go to first aid while you go pick up the Halloween sipper." And then by that time, the fireworks had started, so I was just waiting for him, and he was watching the fireworks, and I watched the fireworks without him.
So
yeah.
let's recap here. You've dropped your kid at the villages. Now you've dropped your husband at first aid. So if you're with Rikki, you were just getting left behind at some point. So you're not. She's gonna drop you at some point. So just be ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna just have my own vacation at that point.
So you might start with her, but you're not gonna end with her. That's
No.
how it's gonna work. So it was packed. Who was playing that night at American Gardens?
Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, who we like when we were walking past, it was like an off time, so we didn't get to see him perform. So we missed that too. But yeah, it was a busy night. I mean, this tells you right here, Figment had a 10-minute wait. So that tells you how busy it was. So yeah, it was crazy packed. And yeah, we just kind of walked around and got the atmosphere of the Food and Wine Festival. Like I said, Food and Wine has not been my favorite festival lately. I really think that it has fallen by the wayside.
It's usually when I've been down, it's like smoking hot. Like it's just
it's hot.
It's usually so hot and it's just so busy. Like it is.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of work. Like
and
the heat makes me just like on edge. Like I like Festival of the Arts is like cooler.
Yeah.
And like I can take it's nice, humid. Like I just feel more comfortable. It just doesn't feel as crowded. Even Flower and Garden. Like
Brian and I were discussing that actually. We were like, honestly, I feel like Food and Wine Festival is the hottest of all of them. Yes, I know that Flower and Garden can be hot, especially if you go at the end, toward the end.
Yep.
But a lot of times they have like fresher flavors, so you don't feel as bad eating some of those foods.
I think too mentally it's at the beginning of the season, so like you're more excited to be like if it's hot, like okay, at least it's the beginning of the hot season. Like okay, I've been like freezing forever, so I'm not so like at this, you're donezo with heat at this point. Like you're just like, dude, I'm over the heat. Like just
it was awful at that
done.
point. Yeah. So we I feel like Food and Wine is overdone and overplayed, and I would much rather do Flower and Garden or Festival of the Arts, or honestly, Festival of the Holidays has become a favorite of Brian and mine.
I love it.
We love doing the cookie stroll, and every year we've made it like a tradition to do it. And so we're going to Thanksgiving this year, and like we've already discussed, we are our hands down all in on the cookie stroll again this year. Like we're ready to go. I've got my bucket that we bought last year. I'm bringing that sucker with me, and we're gonna do the cookie stroll and go around and get that done. So like yeah, we love the Festival of the Holidays. I think it's not my favorite, but it's creeping up there for sure. So
okay, so we got to hard out like in 5 minutes, but give us 5 minutes on Halloween Horror Nights because
I know that you hate Halloween Horror Nights.
Dude, I worked at a haunted house, so I mean, I used to scare people for a living. Not really. I got paid like
Yeah, I
just
get
to
that.
jump out at
But
people at Silo X. But go ahead, tell us.
yes, we did Halloween Horror Nights. We started the thing about Halloween Horror Nights is it is insanely busy as well. There are definitely things you need to do to make Halloween Horror Nights manageable. um, we ate dinner beforehand. That's going to be key. And granted, you're eating dinner at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I'm
I
telling
mean, I
you,
ate at
like,
4, so
yeah, I get that. We ate a cowfish. So I love cowfish. We used to have one here in Atlanta, but they closed it. So like anytime we go to Cowfish, we tend to try to go. They took my favorite roll off the menu. I don't eat sushi, but they have a burgushi there. So instead I got the cheese burgushi, which was so fantastic too. Really, really good. We always get the crab rangoon dip, also fantastic. So delicious. So we went to Islands Adventure for a little bit, and then we made our way over to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. We did meet up with my brother and my brother-in-law, and we went through the park with them. So that was very nice that they helped us to get into the park, and we had a really good time with them. We walked in. They have 4 different scare zones this year. My favorite scare zone, I think, honestly, oh, this is so hard because the scare zones they're top notch this year. I mean, Universal knocked it out of the park for the scare zones. They went above and beyond. They've always done a good job with scare zones, but I really feel like this year it was just next level bonkers. My favorite though, I think, would have to be the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. It's the weirdest scare zone. It's the weirdest story. It's such a unique idea. So the whole idea behind this is it's kind of like those old fairy tales, from the past, like Hansel and Gretel, something along those lines. So this old lady, it's Halloween. She's not a witch, but she makes this special soup that apparently the kids all try on Halloween when they visit her house. I don't know why you'd try a soup from a weird old lady on Halloween, but whatever. And so this is a potion, obviously, and it turns them into cats. So they turn into these very feral cats, and so you get to see the kids as they're transitioning into cats. You get to see them before they as they're trick-or-treaters, and then as the transition, and then once they finally reach that whole cat life. It's a really, again, it's very kitschy. It was so cool. I know that it sounds really dumb the way I'm explaining it, but like it's such a unique idea, and I loved every second of it. And then my other favorite scare zone is going to be the Toxic 20s. Again, so creative. Universal completely, like, they did such amazing sets for this. It's so the whole idea is there was this gangster. The gangsters were like trying to escape the cops, I believe, and they ran into this toxic waste kind of truck situation. And so the toxic goo kind of went everywhere in the city, and so you see people as they are transforming into these toxic mutants. So you have, again, various versions of toxicity, I guess I should say, which again is such a cool. It's like set in New York, so it's very like gangster New York 20s feel. Like it's again a really great scare zone. Those are my 2 favorite scare zones that I experienced. The other ones were great too, but those were seriously my favorite. I've been so excited about those scare zones since they were announced, honestly. I also enjoyed the Mel's Die and Zombies, which were really cool too, but we didn't really get to see a lot of those because we hit those right at the beginning of the park. And then the biggest thing, honestly, I can say is if you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, you want to do Stay and Scream. Stay and Scream, I think, is the key, which means you need to be in the park by 5 o'clock, which is the cutoff. And this year they're doing things a little bit different. So they are actually, instead of corralling guests, they are actually allowing them to then get in line for the attractions once they get their Stay and Scream wristband. So that's really great. I feel like that's a much better option than kind of corralling everybody into one area and then the mad dash to go to the houses once they actually open. So also, the nice thing about Stay and Scream is the houses open a little bit earlier. So Halloween Horror Nights doesn't start until 6:30. But if you're there for Stay and Scream, you get to start at 5:15. So again, you can get a lot of extra houses done. And if you're not going to buy express, Stay and Scream is the best way, I think, to get to experience the most number of houses, because once that 8 o'clock time slot to about midnight hits, that's peak time for Halloween Horror Nights, and those wait times for those houses are going to be astronomical. I mean, we saw Jason Universe at 140 minutes. Fallout was at 70 minutes while we were waiting. Five Nights at Freddy's was 140 minutes. So like those houses during that time period are really, 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 really heavy. So you definitely want to do Stay and Scream if you can, or you should get Express. Express, we had Express for our experience, and it was a godsend. Again, it allows you to get into the attractions faster. You do have to wait in line a little bit, so we usually waited about maybe 20 minutes or so, I'd say, on average, for the different houses. But it's going to save you so much if you're actually looking. It is very expensive, though, I will say. Like, Express is incredibly expensive. But if you're only there one night and you don't plan on going back multiple times during the event, it's the way to go. The other way to go, and again, is even more expensive, but honestly, this is like if you're really looking to experience everything, is the RIP tours, which these are actually cast members that they're guided tours, and they will take you in the back. You get on you don't have to wait in the express line. You pretty much get on into the houses, immediately. So it's really cool. The team members are dressed up as like nurses and stuff like that. So like it's kind of got that whole Halloween Horror Nights theme. I got to see the show Nightmare Fuel, which is really good. If you ever kind of watch like America's Got Talent or something like that, it's a lot of acts like that. Those aerialists that you see, the fire twirlers, the contortionists, those kind of things, set to heavy metal music. It's such a cool show. I really think it's very well done. It's extremely popular. These shows have their fans, and they are diehard fans, and they come out in full force. So again, you want to get your spot for that show a little bit early. We lucked in 10 minutes before. We had seats on the side. They were fine. We had good seats. We could see everything, but if you want middle seats, you want to definitely get there early. They have a new show called Ghoulish. It's a water show. I caught it from the back side, not the front side. But again, it's kind of cute. It's kind of kitschy, but it's a nice addition. I like that they've added this water show to the event. It just gives something else for people like me who maybe don't like going in the houses, but like the experience of Halloween Horror Nights. So that's kind of a great thing too. The other thing is the food lines were all incredibly long. The drink lines were all incredibly long. But we did go. So at Louis, they have the backside of water. I like that. At Louis, they have right now so one of the houses again is Five Nights at Freddy's, which is based off of a video game, then they have made a movie off of it. And it's kind of like Showbiz Pizza, if you remember Showbiz Pizza. So it feels a lot like that. The marquee of the restaurant is very Showbiz Pizza looking. Like me and Brian were discussing that. And so they actually at Louis, they have the Freddy's Fazbar's pizza restaurant. And so we actually went in there, we got pizza, and it is basically pizza with spaghetti on top. It was really good. I really liked it. I'm thinking about making it for dinner one night because it's pretty easy to make, to be perfectly honest. And it was really good. I also got a cupcake, which was really good as well. And the last thing that I will mention is your girl, who's a terrible scaredy cat. She didn't go in just one house. She went into two, baby. So I was so proud of myself. I'm a huge chicken. Like, I'm telling you, huge chicken with haunted houses. They've terrified me as a kid. Mike, you probably remember the JCs back in the day. They used to do a haunted house. And my parents were JCs, and I would remember setting up the haunted house back then. They would set it up, and I literally wouldn't go in while they were setting up, getting everything decorated. I was that scared. I'd sit in the car and fret, that was me. They'd be decorating for an hour, and I'd just be sitting in the car waiting because I'd be like, no, I'm not going in. And this was when I was 12. So it's not like I was a kid. I'm 12, 13, 14. So I don't do haunted houses. My brother loves haunted houses, so you couldn't get the complete opposite family members. So my brother was like, okay, you're gonna do 2 houses. He said the Five Nights at Freddy's house is not scary. That was the last house we did, and I was so tired as we were going in the house. Like, at that point I didn't care. Like, I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm good. Like, you can scare me, I'm not terrified of going into this house. So but it was so cool because they have puppets or audio animatronics, and they're from the Jim Henson family, and like they did that. So they were really well done. They have a ton of them in there too, and they have puppets and everything like that. So well done. If you were a fan of Showbiz Pizza back in the day, you would love this house. It's not a scary house. It's more of a fun scary house. The other house I did was Dolls Play Dead. This one made me a little more nervous. It was earlier on in the night, and I was a little scared. I watched a video before I went in, and I was like, still don't know, but I faced my fears, and I did it. Basically, the story behind this one is that it's kind of like Sid from Toy Story, where he has all these toys, but he kind of contorts them into different things. This is a little girl who contorts her dolls and other toys into different things and twisted, kind of thing. So I was very proud of myself. I did both houses. Now I did manage to set myself up so that I would not get scared as easily, because I had my brother walking in front, my brother-in-law walking in behind him. My brother-in-law is tall, so I stood behind him and just held on to his shirt. And then I had Brian walking behind me, and he was holding on to me. So like I was set with 2 very tall men, and I was like, you couldn't see me, which was helpful because I didn't get they didn't scare me very much, which was good. So yeah, so that was my experience at Halloween Horror Nights. It was a great experience. I was not expecting to stay as late as we did. We stayed until like 1:00 in the morning, but it was so much fun. We had a really good time, and if you've ever considered Halloween Horror Nights, I think you should go. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoy it every single year. It's one of the things I look forward to the most, even though I'm not a horror fan. It's so much fun. So if you have questions about Halloween Horror Nights, feel free to ask me, because like I said, I go almost every single year, and I'm pretty well versed in it. So, if you, I know that we don't talk about Halloween Horror Nights a lot here on the show. So if you've got questions, feel free to reach out.
All right. And that's Rikki at BOGpodcast.com. All right. Yes. So we are going to put a wraps on today's show, but we appreciate you hanging out with us here on a Friday. And if you are celebrating homecoming around the country for your high school or your university, have a great homecoming. Or if it is coming up soon, get ready, because it is that season. It's the fall. We love the fall here in the States. So thanks for hanging with us. We'll have a live show this Sunday night. Join us 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central. Give us a call. I'll be flying solo, so we need your calls. We'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. So join me at 7:00 Eastern. Let's have some fun with the BOGP open line. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details this weekend over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. Just click through there anytime you shop online. That supports the show. Super simple. Great way to support us. And you can support us by becoming a patron. Thanks to everybody who already does that. You guys are our VIPs. I cannot thank you enough for that. It's just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can follow us on the social media at beourguestmike is where I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. Rikki's at Rikki Nibs, RIKKINIBS. And join us in the clubhouse this weekend. That's our Discord server, free for everybody. The conversations never stop. We've got about 1,500, 1,600 folks over there, and it's a good time. Coming over at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. All right, we're jumping out of here. I'm going to wish you a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday night for the live call-in show. So for Rikki, I'm Mike. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.